first thing I want to talk about is expectations. So when we talk about people and expectations, this is something that I've had to work really hard on in the last 2 years because I was raised in a military family, as I told you, where expectations were massive upon everyone that was in the family. And for me, that's something that I've kind of inherited, and I have to be careful with it because my expectations of others, I have to keep in check. And I think all business owners and all people in business are aware of the importance when we're talking to clients about managing our clients' expectations. So that way we can have the best outcomes possible. The worst thing is whenever clients don't know what's going on and they're left in the wind and we haven't managed their expectations. So my attitude always with the industry is that if something's going to be late, I'm going to tell my clients right away so I can manage their expectation as best as possible. I don't want to put my head in the sand. But the image that's on the screen right now from Gary Vee, who I love this guy. He is just awesome. Every day I try and look up something of his because there's not a day that goes by that there's not something I learned or something that he just reinstills in me that I should be doing. But it reads, in case you can't see it, I don't expect my employees to work as hard as I do. It's not their business. Now, here's the disclaimer. If you come across a unicorn and you meet someone who treats your business like it's their own because they're out there, I'm going to admit I'm one of them. It gets me in trouble sometimes. You know, I tend to treat Brett's as though it's my business, and sometimes I will do things and not ask for permission, and I'll just do what I think is right. Sometimes it backfires. But my boss, he considers the source, and he knows that I'm doing it because I do treat it as it's my own. Sometimes it's not so good late at night whenever I'm responding to emails when I probably should be sleeping and spending time with the kids. And that's, again, managing my own expectations. But that's on the screen right there is something that probably every business owner needs to reflect on. The goal is obviously to try and get our team around us to care about the business as much as you do. But realistically, that's probably never really going to hit the mark, but we can get close. Now, the example I want to give is if you have children or if you've ever babysat in your life, I can't think of a time ever that I haven't left contact details for poison control or emergency numbers or the neighbor's number, or they haven't been left for me whenever someone trusted me enough to look after their kids when I was younger. It's kind of like your business, right? I mean, at the end of the day, we all care to some extent for everything that we do, or we wouldn't be putting our time into it. Apathy is the worst thing on the planet, and the thing that scares me the most when it has to do with working with teams. But when you take a look at like what Gary Vee's saying, I guess the question you have to ask yourself is, are you managing your own expectation of your staff members? Because if you have an expectation that they're going to treat the business as if it's yours, then you're setting yourself up right away for failure. And you're probably not going to be on your front foot and have it in the front part of your mind to constantly be empowering them and making sure that you're trying your best to make sure that they view it as their business as well. Now, there is a reason why there's an airline in the United States called Southwest Airlines. There's a reason why Southwest Airlines was one of the few airlines that has never gone into receivership, has never had any issues. And it's because they give all of their staff shares in the business. They've all got skin in the game, whether it's the guy or the lady who's cleaning the toilets on the plane, or whether it's the individual that's flying the plane or loading the baggage, or the people that are helping people line up to stand. And this is a low-cost airline. Southwest Airline does not have assigned seats. You get a number, you stand in line, and it's basically you jump on the plane, you get your seat. But the culture that they have in that business, and so they've chosen to create because they give everyone skin in the game, that is a way to try and get staff members to care more. The other way to get staff members to care more is by doing little things, you know, finding out what their interests are, talking to them. Every single person that I've met inside this group cares. It's very evident from the Monday Momentums, the Friday Wins, from the retreat we went down to, you all care. And I'm sure that your staff see that as well. The question I'm asking is, do they know that you care about them? Do they know that you care about them outside of the job space? So that's the first part, is are you managing your expectations? Because if you're managing your expectation, and if you have a thought in the back of your mind that they're going to treat the business as your own, you're basically going to be constantly disappointed because you're going to have that expectation that they're going to act that way. And when it doesn't happen, you're going to get frustrated and angry. As opposed to, if it's in the forefront of your mind about how do I create a culture where they're going to care as much as humanly possible about a business that is not theirs, then you're going to be very proactive in seeing the little things. Because I'm sure all of you business owners are out there are aware, it's the little things. That's why you're part of this group, is to highlight the little things and the processes. And on a daily basis, if we're thinking about those things and how we can motivate our staff, because everyone's motivated differently. For instance, me, our work, quite often they try and put in spivs and bonuses and things of that nature. I'm not motivated by that. I know a lot of staff are, but for me, as I mentioned before, time is the most valuable thing for me. And the fact that I own 2 businesses, I'm heavily involved in baseball, as everyone knows. I work full time for Brett's. When my boss says to me, hey, Apples, I can see you're doing a great job. Why don't you have this afternoon off? Or I have the autonomy to come and go as I please. Or for instance, they all know full well that because they weren't able to give me a raise, they offer me to have from 4:30 onwards until 7:30, 8:30 at night, that's dedicated as my baseball time. To me, that's the most valuable thing that they can possibly do to motivate me, is by giving me some of my time back. And that encouraged me to work harder whenever I'm there. So I guess what I'm going to challenge everyone to do today is, 1, manage your expectation. Have that in the forefront of your mind about how you can grow that team culture and how you can make them look at the business every day and be excited when they wake up to come and be an empowered part of the team. That's what I'm going to encourage you all to do.